Well, hello, lighting enthusiasts. I know, I sound a little overzealous this morning. I've had some coffee, I'm feeling good, super busy. I don't even have time to make this video. I don't even want to make this video, but I have to make this video because some of you need this information. Density, density, density. Man, that is the name of the game. If you don't have your Gilbert Engineering dense props, you missed the boat. Hurry, hurry, hurry. They can only cut so many for the remainder of the year. I mean, these guys are going nuts cutting Coro. Anyway, look, the topic of this video is configuring your controller for dense props. How do I get the outputs to the right port outputs? How do I do the channels? I'm going crazy. All right, so let's look at the rosa wreath here. You will notice that I have set this up using string 1 and then string 2. And that's cool. You can do that if that's where you're going to make it work on the controller. But you can also just leave this 696 nodes. One string. And that's okay. Save that. Let's just make sure. Yeah, 696, one string. And we can send that. I happen to cut mine after 350 for the second output. So I have the first 350 is going to go on here by itself. Then the second, the remainder of that balance of 696 will be on the second output. And there's a couple ways you can do this, depending on which release of xLights you may have. Performance may vary depending on the release. So you need to know how to do this manually. If you have a prop like the mother of all wreaths, I have this on one output because I'm crazy. Because I'm crazy and it's close to the receiver. And it's using an F4, which is a little more forgiving when you max it out with your expansion. But if you're on an F16 or an F48, I don't recommend running 640 out of one output. I would do 2. I would probably change this to 2 and then put 320 in here, or leave it here and then change it on the controller. So let's do this. I'm going to do this. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll break this. I'm going to go to my .56, which is my center house controller, which happens to be where all of these dense props are. I'm going to upload to controller, output to the F4. Don't give me an error. Oh, that's so nice when it doesn't do that. And I'm going to refresh the screen, and let's see what it did with my rosa wreath. Rosa wreath. And look here. It put it all on one, 696. Well, I don't want that. You see what it's doing here? And I think, let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's double check. I put this on 696, so I didn't tell it to split. So now let's reverse that. Let's tell it that we do want 2 strings. And I want this to be, let me go back over here, 2 strings. There we go. Individual start channels. You have to click the little plus sign. I'm going to tell it I want 350 on the first. And then I want the remainder of that on here. Or I could just put, actually this makes more sense, just put 1 on here, then put 351. The reason I chose 351 for the next string starting is because 350 completes a set of strings if I'm using hundreds and 50s. And that way I don't have to cut anything. And then I can just start a new one at 351. Let's click save. Let's go to our setup. Let's right click. Let's upload the controller, output to the Falcon. Let's see what this does. Will it confuse it? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's take a look. Whoa, boom, 1 through 350 pixel count. And then it says we will end at universe 513, channel 30. And it does the math for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing stuff here. It's not magic. It's not science. It's a little bit of witchcraft. 513, start channel 31. And the pixel count is 346, which happens to be the balance of 696 total pixels. So, if you're on a controller and it doesn't like doing this, then just change it. Let's say that this said 696 and you're getting all these errors and it's red, then just go in here and tell it, look, I only want 350. And then when you do this, you click another error, it's going to tell you, okay, if you're putting 350 pixels in there, then the end of the universe happens to be 513 and the last channel is 30. So then manually click over here to your next output and tell it, hey, this starts at 513 channel 31, and put in the remainder of the nodes, and it's done. Boom. Easy, easy, easy. No big deal. Okay? So there are two ways of doing it. And again, depending on which version of xLights you are on, you may have different results. If this thing wigs out on you, what I'm going to suggest you do is this right here. 521, put your pixel count to 0, click the clone so that these all start with universe, or actually, I'm sorry, 501. Start with your lowest universe, put that up here, 501, start channel 1, 0 pixels, clone them, get these all to say the same thing, click save. Go back to xLights, right click on it again, upload to controller, output Falcon FV4, and that should be cool. Also, if you happen to notice that your numbers are out of order here, if you ever see it go 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it switch these numbers, reinitialize your controller and start again. That's not something you can fix in here. I don't know what that is attributed to. Do try to be on the latest firmware if you can, especially if you're using smart receivers in smart or dumb mode. I am on 2.53, which seems to be fine. 5.4 snuck in without me knowing it, and I'm not going to worry about it this moment. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. To recap, for the dense models, you can split them here, or you can simply tell them it's 2 strings at 320, or send the whole thing over and then manually manipulate it in the controller. What has to happen is it has to match, and we want to avoid these errors. You'll also sometimes get errors when uploading. You right click and you'll upload this thing and it's like, bling, sorry, your funds did not go through, sir. You have been denied. Your passport no good. And you're like, what the hell did I do now? Why is it not sending anything? And chances are you have exceeded what the controller is capable of doing. And by that, I mean the slider on the left or right. And you notice you don't see a slider here with the F4. Why is that? Why is it special? I got 12 outputs, no slider. That's because the F4 will give you 1024 pixels per output should you want to do it. But there's no slider. But on the F16, the F48, there are sliders. And if you don't have enough room on either side to accommodate the number of pixels, you're going to get the error. And it's going to tell you, I'm sorry, bud. Pal, we ain't sending nothing to the controller until you figure it out. So just keep these things in mind. Just, leave the groups a message. Hey, I'm trying to figure this out. It's still not working. And we'll try our best to help you out. Take care.